Good evening, Wastelanders. Not as good at this as our friend the Phoenix is, but hello, this is Overseer, and welcome to the first actual episode of Fall of Man Radio. Right now, it's just myself, the Overseer, joined by my partner in crime and owner and proprietor of the Circus of Value, the Merchant. Soon, we hope to have a couple more, including the aforementioned Phoenix. In the meantime, let's get started on the topic. So, we figured, at least as a beginning for the stream, we were going to talk a little bit about gear and armor crafting in the Wasteland. Do you have any thoughts on this, Merchant?
Yeah. Sorry to answer the question. Yeah. I mean, I know we've touched on it briefly, but yeah, I'm. It's a very interesting topic. It's one that you and I are both involved in, along with some of our other friends, and yeah, it's just kind of generally, how to protect yourself in whatever sort of a wasteland environment it is, and
Yeah.
uh, just kind of going off of what we've seen in movies, played in video games, and both from more of a practical experience from what we've had from actually building some of the stuff ourselves. We've learned quite a bit, quite a bit over the years.
Definitely, I'd say so. I've been working on redoing my original kit. I mentioned it a little bit during the pilot. The picture is not the original kit, although some elements, including the belt and a couple other things, are definitely part of that. Um, However, the original kit, I got a picture. I think it's on my Twitter. Uh, if I remember correctly, I might have already put it up there, and that's where you can see that. I will pull it up on the display in just a moment, though. So, give me a minute. But what is there for the thumbnail right now is generally my summer kit. It's a much lighter weight style of like load bearing equipment with a belt and a bag for all my utilities and stuff like that, and a drop leg for my pistol.
And
So,
we can also that is a pretty good segue into stuff we've learned and different variances when it comes to armor, because the environment is going to play a huge role on what you can and can't wear,
oh,
or what
definitely.
you want to wear.
Definitely. I'd say that one of the benefits of having the kit that's pictured is that it breathes a lot better than my other one, which is essentially a modified police vest. Um, this is while the for the sake of airsoft and whatnot, the material isn't actual metal. It's like rubber for the armor plating. Um, it breathes pretty well as a result of that, and the material that it's like the fabric that it's uh, applied to, essentially. And I've been to a couple events now where it's helped a lot in terms of being able to just not suffer.
Yeah.
But I would honestly be interested in eventually getting with another friend of ours who has done armor crafting with actual metals to make a essentially an actual metal variation of this kit.
Oh, you mean Warlord or Hard Hat?
Warlord, Echo, any one of them.
That's true. They have a lot more metalworking, and no, I agree with you. They have a lot easier access to it, and again, that factors into armor building as far as what you can actually access and work with. Because
Yeah.
for me personally, I don't really have like a metal shop I can go to, or like a part, like a pick apart sort of car place to get metal, like sheet metal.
Yeah.
I mean, I can go to any hardware store and get like sheet metal. The other thing is the tools to move it around, or to like cut it down, make it safe. Because last thing you want is to have a cool set of metal armor, and you move the wrong way, and because it's a jagged piece of metal, it just slices you up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's the
yeah,
concern. But if I get like rounded edges and stuff like that, then maybe it'll work
yeah,
out
you
better.
can.
It might not look exactly the same. I don't really anticipate it doing so, but I think it'd be interesting to have a similar style of armor on the front and back that's made with real metal plating.
Yeah, it would definitely be interesting to give it more of a. Looks like it could take a more of a ballistic set of armor.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference. So I'm not sure how to structure the conversation. But when we mean, or when we're talking about armor, when we're talking about like actually going to the wasteland, because we've all seen Mad Max and some other movies where a lot of the armor seems very theatrical and kind of impractical,
Mm-hmm.
and actually building the armor, actually taking out and using it, and seeing, okay, I need to, be able to carry water, food, ammo, be able to maneuver, and stuff like that. So the theatrical armor is cool if you're going for like an actual warlord look. If you're trying to say I am the boss man,
Yeah.
then yeah, having a theatrical set of armor, it may help you because it's command presence. It's like, okay, there's the boss man. He looks,
Well,
he looks pretty
we
badass with
definitely know a person that has a very uh presenting or intimidating set of armor, and that is the warlord.
yeah, and it fits. And from what he said too, and that's why he's building a different set of armor, and that segues into the other part is there is armor that is more specifically made to protect you. So
Yes.
going from theatrical, there's specific armor. Like when we're talking modern day armor, you can get ballistic armor plates. You can get soft body armor for bullets. You can get what you've seen like riot control armor, where it'll protect you from, you know, getting hit with like blunt objects or. Um, so there's armor that's made specifically to protect you from certain things, and then usually what we do, because we're not actually shooting guns at each other, is we more or less build armor that's more of a load bearing.
Yes.
So it's soft body armor. It would probably like maybe help with if you get in a fight and you maybe like take a slash, maybe take like a blunt object, and you could probably take a couple blows. But none of the stuff we're making is really like ballistic style. And
No.
there's a reason. Ballistic plates are heavy.
They're
And if you're walking,
heavy. They're not as common as one might think they are. Um,
yeah,
like
and soft body armor has a shelf life.
yeah, and I think like say real world scenario, I think that I would probably have some concealed armor if I had some prior to like whatever was happening, which is something I'm actually planning on doing. Um, eventually, this shit's expensive, but you
Yeah,
know. And
yeah,
the idea would be that I have that, and then I wear like normal everyday clothes on the top, so that nobody really bothers me because they think I'm just some rando. But if they do, they're gonna be in for a surprise, basically.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
and
And that,
that's actually a kit idea I'm thinking about for the Omega events, which is a more survival oriented airsoft apocalypse event that we've attended. We talked about it in the pilot a little bit, and in that,
yeah,
it's very much you're dealing with rugged terrain and like you're out there all weekend in whatever weather it is. So I was thinking about trying to do something where I just use my belt and I have some sort of like jacket system or something that kind
yeah,
of lets me carry random bits and bobs and tools and whatnot. But like, if it were real, I'd be wearing concealable armor underneath that. For airsoft, I wouldn't really worry about that though.
yeah. For airsoft, it's kind of fun to build stuff.
Yeah,
And going into the heavier sets of armor, like specific ballistic ones or specific heavy like crafted armor, like if you get sheet metal or like steel steel metal, sorry,
Mm-hmm.
steel sheets, and craft them into armor is kind of more of an improvised one. It's still heavy, and probably from what most people would do, and me included, is that if you know you're going into a hostile area, then yeah, you would probably bring some plates. You're not super worried about being concealed because
Aim to do
if you're
something
going
where
in
I
there with
drop.
the expectation of it,
Yeah.
or if you're on a convoy, have some armor. But if you're just walking around scavenging and you're wearing like this an extra 15, 20 pounds of just armor, nothing else, no sustainment gear, just armor, like
Oh
that's
yeah.
gonna wear on you pretty